All right, so we begin in Los Angeles, where a judge agreed to postpone the arraignment of the son of slain Hollywood star Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Los Angeles officials say Nick Reiner could face the death penalty. So we learned that yesterday when the L.A. County District Attorney laid out the charges. 2 first-degree murder charges, along with an enhancement for allegedly using a knife in that crime. Reiner's attorney told reporters outside the courthouse there are several points of interest that need to be examined before an arraignment. Watch.
There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. Those need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. We ask that during this process you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves.
CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti joins us live from L.A. Jonathan, you have been on this story from the earliest hours after it broke. Explain what we saw in court today. We saw a camera panning around. We didn't see Nick Reiner. How did that play out?
Yeah.
And when will we see him back in court, my friend?
Yeah, the judge granting a request from the defense attorney there asking not to show video or photos of Nick Reiner. It was the first time that we were, as journalists inside, I was there, able to see Nick Reiner since he was taken into custody on Sunday evening. He was placed in an area within that courtroom that is called the box. It is a plexiglass room. It makes it quite difficult to actually see him directly, though I was able to get a glimpse of him. He appeared to be wearing a black suicide prevention vest. At moments, he seemed to shuffle, struggling to walk in it. He sat there rather calmly and stoically. The whole process was about 5 to 10 minutes. The only time we heard from him was when he told the judge he understood his rights to waive that speedy arraignment. The new date now set for the 7th as we await the district attorney to release the charging documents, where we'll get a better sense of the direction in which this investigation is going. Reed, though, we've been reporting this, as you mentioned, for a few days now. We're getting a better sense of the timeline of this tragedy, and it appears to have all really begun at that party that we've been reporting on Saturday night, where he was in attendance with his parents and, according to sources, got into an argument before leaving that evening.
Any word today from the Reiner family? Obviously, every time this goes to court, it's like reliving a nightmare and a tragedy. And this is just going to be the first of what will be many now in the months and perhaps even years ahead. Any sense from them today?
No, and it's a great question, and we don't expect to hear from them directly. As you can imagine, not just a shock. This is a true tragedy, an earthquake for them, an earthquake, even as the district attorney put it yesterday, for the entire city, especially when you consider the legacy that is left behind and the tragedy this family now faces. Nick Reiner charged, allegedly, according to the DA, using a knife to stab them in their own bedroom. Now they're saying in the early morning hours of Sunday, which means they were most likely asleep at the time, Reed. That is something that is very hard to grasp for everyone hearing this story, let alone the family, as you can imagine.
A horrific crime and just the first step in that journey to justice for Nick Reiner. Jonathan Vigliotti, thank you so much for your exhaustive coverage, to you and your team.